approach this topic as an insider looking into Nirec from the outside. I pondered the topic, education for peace and nation building. A number of questions then came to my mind. But the one that agitated my mind the most is that question you see on top of my short presentation. Is there a nation that we need to build? That question is being asked outside. 3 voices from among our compatriots will compete for attention whenever the name Nigeria is mentioned. Number 1, those I refer to as the denialists or rejectors. Number 2, the pessimists or end-timers. Number 3 are the affirmationists or the optimists. The philosophy of denialism is hinged on the assumption that Nigeria is not a nation, according to them. That Nigeria is a mere geographical expression. Whenever the denialists contemplate the many challenges we are facing today as a nation, including the difficult reality that we are exporting yam in order to import pounded yam, the chorus, we have told you that is not a nation. This country is a joke. That is from the denialists. The second group are the end-timers or the pessimists. Let us divide them into 2. We have the global pessimists and the local pessimists. Global pessimists feature conspirators, neo-colonialists, neo-conservatives, and neo-imperialists. Each time they assess incidences of ethno-religious conflicts, political instability facing this country, they come to the conclusion that Nigeria will soon implode. They quickly come to the conclusion that there's no nation in Nigeria to build. Rather, we should expect an implosion. They experienced that. They expected Nigeria to implode in 2010. They said Nigeria would cease to exist in 2015 when it didn't happen in 2010. By 2015, when Nigeria did not implode, they are there doing research again, looking forward to the future. Their expectation is that Nigeria will cease to exist. That is the global pessimists. But what about the local pessimists? These are your and my compatriots, fellow Nigerians, we call them. They are usually referenced. Why not deny the reality that Nigeria is here? They nonetheless hold that our nation is fated to anarchy, fated to tragedy, poverty, and perpetual volatility. These are Nigerians who claim that Nigeria is not working for them and therefore took the option of traveling abroad. Ironically, those Nigerians are still here. They never left. Their bodies and souls are abroad, but their troubled minds and spirits remain inside Nigeria. Before you say good morning, they have sent thousands of messages to you on WhatsApp telling you that a tragedy is happening on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, that somebody has been kidnapped on the Kaduna-Abuja way. These are Nigerians who are not in Nigeria, but whose souls and spirits are still in Nigeria. They are my fellow pessimists, fellow compatriots who are pessimists. But an assemblage like this invalidates all of the above postures. I am referring to this congregation of eminent Nigerians, of optimists for greater Nigeria, optimists like Sir Ahmad Bello, whose blood was spilled as sacrifice for this nation, optimists like General Yakub Gowon, who insisted that Nigeria must go on with one nation, optimists like me and you, like General Murtala Muhammad, who was assassinated at the time Nigeria was at the cusp of regeneration and renewal. We are all here because our nation is real. Nigeria is real. We believe that this nation shall rise above its challenges. Allah tells us in Quran chapter 39, verse 53, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. Tell Nigerians who feel that Nigeria shall not rise again, tell them Nigeria shall rise again. But by the pronoun we, I am referring to this august assemblage of eminent men and women of God, an assemblage of Nigerians who have and will stand for, preach, and educate our compatriots on the necessity for peace a sine qua non for nation building. I'm of the view that to belong to Nirec, either based on institutional or communal reason, is to be an educator for peace, either as profession or as vocation. When we educate for peace, and by implication, nation building, it's my view that we are focusing attention on at least 7 ingredients. Number 1, we are focusing on God. Both Islam and Christianity emphasize that. God, that we all know, is a salam. He is a peaceful. He is the owner of peace. But we also know that God does not make a mistake. God that cannot commit an error. وَلَوْ شَاءَ لَجَعَلَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدًا. If I had wished, I would have made all of you Muslims. If I had wished, I would have made all of you Christians. But it's my choice, it's my decision, that some will be Muslims, that some will be Christians. Ingredient number 2, sanctity of our humanity. When we teach peace, we are telling those of our students that we are teaching that you have to know that human beings, human souls are sacred. We know that no matter the tribe that you belong to, humanity is universal. Number 3, the third ingredient is that humanity is always in constant pursuit of truth. Number 4, relativity of truth. That for truth to be true, we must constantly pay attention to its relativity. This demands from us all, from those we are teaching, inclusion, not exclusion. Hassan al-Banna was a scholar, an Egyptian, who was assassinated in 1948. He says, "Ara ma kulli qawmin alaman wa fi kulli da'watin haqqun wa batil." There's no religion that would say, that would deny that it's invalid. To every religion, it's truthfulness. Number 5, that we cannot and should not preach what we do not do. Or our knowledge becomes useful only when we do with it what we preach with it. Number 6, our religion, Islam and Christianity, extols and values peace as fundamental to faith and prerequisite to being faithful to God. The last one, that for us to achieve eternal peace in the hereafter, we must promote and cultivate peace in the here and now. But ladies and gentlemen, each time we talk about peace as Christians and Muslims, we are confronted by our students with a number of questions. They question you, why is it that every crime being perpetrated in Nigeria today are being perpetrated either by Muslims or Christians? Why is it that we continue to produce citizens, Muslims and Christians, with invidious characters, with luciferous dispositions, and with beastly conduct? When you turn on the TV, you see a pastor who has been caught committing a crime. When you turn on the TV, you see an imam who has been caught with a crime. Then the question comes to agitate your mind. Why is it that those of you who preach peace are the ones perpetrating violence? 7 suggestions, responses. Number 1, some scholars have the view that the reason Muslims and Christians engage in criminality is because of the text they carry around. It is the Bible that teaches them. It is the Quran that teaches them. That's argument number 1. I do not subscribe to it. But critics of religion will say the reason Christians and Muslims perpetrate evil is because of the text they carry around. Argument number 2, argument based on nature. Argument based on nature. This argument says that man is programmed to be violent. That when you talk of a man, of human being, that we are programmed to be violent. John Fiske, the 19th century American philosopher and historian, captured the fact of nature for lack of peace in human society. According to him, every man is primarily a butcher. I do not agree with that, but that is his opinion. Argument number 3, negative acculturation. According to this argument, just like the executive secretary mentioned, context is important when you want to understand why some people engage in violence. No human being is by nature violent. Rather, to love and desire peace and harmony is innate in every human being. The reason people engage in violence and conflicts, some of which are labeled as religion, is negative acculturation. That's argument number 3. Argument number 4, because of time, it's argument based on antisocial personality disorder. Antisocial personality disorder. This argument is saying that amongst, when you see people in town, some of them are actually mad, but you may not know. Some of them are suffering from undeclared, unregistered, undiagnosed psychotic condition. The latter usually become evident when they visit violence on others and they do not experience any pain. You see some kids, they say, a couple of days ago, some young boys were caught in Shagamu who killed an Okada man. And the young boy, about 15, was saying, I held his neck and I turned it around. He was saying it without any feeling of humanity. Then I said, this boy is suffering from an undeclared psychotic condition. He's a mad boy, but the madness is not known to everybody. Argument number 5 is argument based on argument based on absence of necessities of life. The argument today says, acute lack of bread, water, of life sometimes drives some people into violence. Somebody who wakes up today, he has nothing to eat in the home. He looked back yesterday, there was nothing to eat yesterday. He looked forward to the future, he can't see anything to eat tomorrow. Then he will begin to ask himself, why not die now and die quickly now? Argument number 6, argument based on ignorance. We have some Muslims who claim they are Muslims but are ignorant of what the Quran says about peace and interreligious, peaceful conduct. We have some who are Christians, they carry the Bible around. They listen only to what the pastor quotes to them in the church. They never ever sit down to question the Bible. That's argument based on ignorance. The next argument is argument based on commodification of religion. Some scholars are of the opinion that the reason Muslims and Christians are involved in violent interface in Nigeria is that some of us have commodified or commoditized our religion. Islam is now a product. It's now an item we are selling. We are making money from it. Christianity is an item some pastors are feeding on. When they feed on it, they don't mind what happens to Nigeria. The next argument is argument that affects the imams and pastors. When the imams and pastors turn the pulpit, when they turn the pulpit to spaces where hatred and violence are taught to the congregation, then you expect nothing but violence. A couple of months ago, you see an imam standing in the mosque preaching against the other. Then you see the other pastor too saying people should go out and kill them. Then you begin to wonder, is this an imam? Is this a pastor? The next argument says, when imams become advocates of bandits and with impunity, when imam chooses to become an advocate of bandits or terrorists with impunity, then you listen to the other two, a bishop who goes on international level and begin to seek disruption and destruction of Nigeria. You begin to wonder, is that an imam? You begin to wonder, is that a pastor? Is that a bishop? Going forward, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, Ya yuanas, afshu salam, wa taimu ta'am, wa sillu l'arham, wa sallu wa nasu niyam, tadkhulul jannata bis salam. Prophet Muhammad offered 4 suggestions for us. The suggestion number 1 is verbal. Let's preach peace and teach peace with our mouth, with our tongue. Number 2 is existential. When we teach peace, our government should assist those who are teaching to put things in their mouth, in their stomach. In Malaysia, food is subsidized. Whatever the poor man eats in Malaysia is what the rich man also eats. That has been taken away as a conservative factor by violence. Number 3, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says you can't have peace when you say in Yoruba, "Yo, me my baby I don't care. Insofar as I'm okay, I've had my fill. Even if my neighbor is dying of hunger, I don't bother. You can't sleep in peace." Number 4, Sallu wa nasum niyam. Sallu bilay. For us to have peace, we must work on our spirituality. I begin to round up. Ladies and gentlemen, our fathers and mothers, our prophet is reminding us that peace is both a cause and an effect. For peace to reign supreme among us, we must practice peace with our tongue, show it in our action and interpersonal relationship. For our nation to progress, we must attend to the We must ensure that the needy and the underprivileged are taken care of. He who does not enjoy internal peace, the world around him will constitute a hell in its reality. For peace to reign supreme in our nation, our religious leaders need to set religion free from their captivity. Some of us have abducted, have kidnapped our religion. When people see us now, they see that is Islam, that is Christianity. Whereas you can't be Islam, you can't be Christianity. For peace to reign in our nation, we must begin to, in other words, and security education will begin to gain more traction when basic necessities of life are provided for the masses. When the poor becomes aware that he has a stake in the continued welfare of the rich, our task as peace educators for nation building will begin to be more productive. Playing politics with our faith. The moment we cease conflating the criminal with it, the moment we begin to treat one another, our task as peace educators for nation building will become more productive. The moment we adopt inclusiveness and we abandon hermetism, nation will begin to achieve more. The moment we adopt diversity. Let me be me as a Muslim, and I will let you be you as a Christian. Education for peace and nation building is a sacred duty. But it is those who do not work with Caesar, while posturing they are working for God, that can deliver it. Peace teaching or education for peace will become more productive if we stop being fake in our way, in our actions. It is for those who will stand with God, not posturing as if they are with God, while in reality they are with Caesar. And you fully and truly, we are truly for God. We have to stand for God in order for God not to question us. When God questions you, who can answer the question? Thank you for the opportunity.